Kenewagu now out of his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
On play action, Cousins. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That nice pickup of 17 yards.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's... on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I tell you what, it looks like they're shaking up that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And what a nice example there. The tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
The first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Cousins now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field have covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing, Cousins. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Kingsley Enagbari. That is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League. 4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. The kick by Joseph is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to win that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
26-yard line.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the man for UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And the tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And this is going to turn into another 9-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone. And that's one little action. And now it brings up 3rd down. Rodgers again now. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
This is caught, and it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones, a 16-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
Packers 14, Vikings 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Cousins. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Cousins on 1st down. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right. Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Waiting on it will be Richie James. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones and not have the balls go through goalposts.
So the ball moves from one 38 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big play there on the catch and run. 37 yards. Cook is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like.
Touchdown, Packers!
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown one play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He's got a man complete. And he will work his way out of bounds here at the 25-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 56 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Cook again. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Hey, flipper!
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
In motion comes the tight end left. On 2nd and 7, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
This one swung out here to Jones. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. Nixon now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The 2nd half starts with, and oh, he coughed it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So certainly not at all what you're looking for here to start the 3rd quarter. A fumble on their opening drive.
Not at all. You're exactly right about that because this had a chance to be the drive to put everything away. A touchdown here, that might have put everything out of reach for them. They definitely handed out a lifeline to the defense on that play.
Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They'll run with Cook. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Cook will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting in a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So a good grab there. And here's a guy, he had to learn the offense quick, just picked up as a free agent earlier this week.
And usually there's a connection, isn't there? A past coach, someone from the front office who knew him from before and thought that he could help this team.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And this will be a Packers first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 22 yards there, a first down. An inside give to Jones. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Like, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Over the middle, it's complete. Samori Toure with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Packers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Up the middle, it's Cook. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action now. Cousins looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Off the play fake, Cousins rolling to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 33. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Jones, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
No, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly... And he's got it! What a catch on the sideline. It turns out to be 36 yards. He's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that's a rare bright spot in what's overall been a pretty poor showing so far, but you've got to figure when you're down a bunch, why not take some big shots? And they connect on that one.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get this down near the 25. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. At 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case...
And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run. They'll try to run some clock now with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. This is brought in at the 21. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. Something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They'll throw again. Cousins. We're going back to the same well. It's Hawkinson again. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
I have to jump for myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 50 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They'll go again to Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.